If I asked you to identify my race just from looking at me, the majority of you who are strangers to me would label me as African American, simply from the color of my skin, right? Well, what if I were to tell you that I was in fact not African American, but mixed? Now, that very scenario is something that I have gone through many, many times throughout my life. And if you are also mixed or multiracial or whatever you choose to identify as, you have most likely been in similar situations to that. And you also know how mentally and physically exhausting it can be to have to constantly prove your true racial identity to others. Now, growing up with two divorced parents who were of different races meant growing up in two completely different cultural households. When I explain this to strangers or new people that I'm just getting to know, they can't seem to wrap their head around how one individual can have such seemingly contrasting interests. And it makes it impossible for them to be able to put me into any of the racial categories that they have in their head. Not knowing where to put me also spills over into my familial relationships, because when I go to functions with my white family, they like to pretend that they're colorblind, which I know they mean well, but it doesn't help because I do look different from them, and that should be okay and that should be embraced, but instead they pretend it doesn't happen and it doesn't exist. But at the end of the day, I'm still the only person at Thanksgiving dinner who doesn't have blonde hair, blue eyes, and white skin. And that makes me feel like I don't fit in with that side of the family, like I have never fit in with that side of the family. And you may think, well, you can fit in with your African American side of the family then, but I don't fit in there either. Because when I'm with my African American side of the family, they always tell me that I dress too white, and that I talk too white, and that I style my hair too white. And they don't consider me black enough to be a part of that group either. So I don't feel like I fit in anywhere, even with my own family. And this fact that neither side of my family really considers me to be black makes it so that they can't understand how I have ever experienced racial discrimination and prejudices that African American people experience. And it's been really hard not having people in my life to talk to about the fact that I have experienced those prejudices all throughout my life, because to an average passerby or a stranger, I am dark enough to be considered African American, and that is how strangers treat me. I'm still subject to the same stereotypes as African Americans in my everyday life. I've been told that I am illiterate because of my skin, or that I am less intelligent because of my skin, or that I am angrier or more dangerous than my white friends because of my skin. And that is something that my family never understood when I was growing up. And it was really hard for me having to grow up as a mixed person without people who understood what I was going through. So to all the mixed kids out there who are feeling like they don't have anyone to talk to and that no one understands what they're going through, maybe this will ease your mind. The Pew Research Center estimates that about 7% of the current US population identifies as multiracial. And 7% might not seem like a lot of people, but let's look at it this way. There are currently 323.1 million people in the United States. So that means about 22.6 million of those people are multiracial. And if that still doesn't seem like enough people, know that that is more people than there are in the states of both New York and Florida, not combined. And those two states are two of the 4 most populous states in the US. See how that is really a lot of people? So next time any of you are feeling as if you are alone, or that there aren't people out there that you fit in with who have gone through the same things that you have, remember that there are 22 million other people out there who have experienced the same things as you, and you fit in with those people. and that's only in the United States. You are not alone.